Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Juliana. My student number is 17 20 20 50 71. I'm from English Education and also from UIN Kota Palembang. And this is my group's presentation. I'm from second group and I also the last speaker of the group. So my part is about lexical borrowing, lexical constraints, and also a teacher toward code switching and code mixing. So without any further ado, I will let you know what is actually those three terms. The first one is lexical borrowing. If we are literally translate the word, lexical means words and borrowing means like borrow or taken from another language. So the definition is actually lexical borrowing is when we adapted linguistic elements like the word, the phrase, or the clause from other language. We are talking about English language, right? So in the next slide of my presentation, actually there are three different flags from different countries. But before we talk about that, do you know that actually English language is some of the words are taken from other language. So the first one is France, from France country. The word is genre. Genre actually taken from France to express the types of movies or maybe stories or drama. And the second is kindergarten actually from Germany. And the last is karaoke actually originally from Japan, to express when we are singing in the small room by read the lyrics, so it's called karaoke. Okay, so let's move on to the second part of my explanation. That would be lexical constraints. So I want you to make it really easy to understand. The first is lexical still talk about words, and constraints synonym with restricted or limited. So what is actually lexical constraint? Lexical constraints actually happen when we accidentally do a code switching when we are talking, because the limited of the vocabulary. So we switch and put and insert the word in the context, like we can talk fully in English but we put some words in our Indonesian language, because of that limited of vocabulary. So it happens, lexical constraint. It can be only switch the noun or adjective in the same language or the phrase to examine our meaning. That's the rules of lexical constraints. Actually, there's no real standard of this lexical constraint, whether it can be or it can't be, but people sometimes really open with this, like that's not there's not really any other standard of code switching, like the grammars or the sentence. And then let's talk about the last topic of our presentation. It's about attitude on code switching. Attitudes to code switching. So, as I mentioned before, in a lexical constraint that's happened code switching. So, what people actually think about someone's that do a code switching, do a code switch. Sometimes people accept when the speaker do a code switching. Like in America, there's a culture called Tex-Mex, Texas Mexican. They were mixed or sometimes code switch between English word and also Spanish word because they are multicultural communities. And also we know in Indonesia, some of students in English department, maybe they talk in English, but then if they didn't know some words, they will do code switch. Yeah, because they talk not they're not talk with their mother tongue, but with a foreign language or second language. That's the acceptance, I think. But some culture from some country cannot accept or understand, so they tend to apologize. I mean, the speaker tend to apologize if they do a code switch. Yeah, that's like different situation. But then again, there's one example like multicultural country like Papua New Guinea and also East Africa more positive to give feedback to people who do a code switch in their country because they think it can make they become more confident, they can promote their ethnic, and yeah, so there's still pros and cons between how people react, how people give attitudes toward code switch. Okay, so I think that's all from our group discussion. Thank you. I hope in this video you can learn something. See you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.